Alright guys, today I'll be reviewing Thunderhead at Dollywood. This is the amazing GCI Woody here. And you know what? I didn't really like GCI before this ride. I thought Mystic Timbers was a big letdown. Lightning Racer, I mean, it's good, but it's not great. Wildcat was meh. But this thing was amazing. And I'm going to go over why this thing's way better than the other GCIs in this review. So for starters, you really don't have any theming here. Don't expect Mystery Mine or Fire Chaser or anything. You have that cool station flyby in the queue line, though, which is pretty cool to look at. But yeah, you're basically just sitting in a cattle pen. I will say you do have shade, so that's definitely appreciated. But yeah, don't expect anything great in terms of theming here. Now, the trains here are basic Millennium Flyer trains. They're comfortable. You have a very comfortable lap bar. You do have a seatbelt, unfortunately, but I don't know. It's whatever. It probably cuts down on insurance costs, so I guess that's how they're paying for Lightning Rod's maintenance. So this ride is definitely reliable. It went down once, I believe, to put a second train on, which is good. You definitely want it to go down if they're putting a second train on. But yeah, it didn't really go down for mechanical issues at all during my visit, which is definitely a good thing. So yeah, don't expect Lightning Rod here. You definitely don't need to book it here right away, especially since this ride doesn't really get too busy, at least not as busy as rides like Mystery Mine, Big Bear, Lightning Rod. So I definitely wouldn't go here first. I'd go to Big Bear probably. But yeah, first thing you do out of the station is actually this spiral down to the lift hill, and you get some decent laterals here, so that's nice. The first drop on this is pretty good. If you're in the back, you'll get floater with a little bit of laterals in the front, which is the best spot to ride. You won't really get anything, but trust me, the rest of the ride is definitely a lot better in the front. This is a ride that showcases its speed really well. There's a lot of low to the ground parts, which is definitely better in the front for me. And a lot of these hills, like the first turnaround here, are definitely better in the front. So this first turnaround and basically like all the turns in this ride give great airtime up front going into them. It's really bizarre how this ride kind of fits in airtime in the layout. It basically has a sharp crest going into the hills or into the turns and out of them, which is really weird. So you get great airtime up front into pretty much all of these turns, and not quite as good airtime in the back, but still good. After that first turnaround, you're going to hit another one of those, pretty much the same thing, and then you're going to hit the speed hill. This isn't the best speed hill in the world, but it's definitely still good. It's definitely sustained floater. Then you're going to hit a turnaround going into the station flyby. The turnaround, this is the one that's kind of a dud. It doesn't really do a whole lot for me, but the station flyby is cool. It's definitely the most kind of boring part of the ride, but it's cool flying through the station and seeing everyone waiting to ride. You're going to get a nice pop of airtime if you're in the back coming out of it, and then you hit a really strong moment of ejector airtime in the front going into this next turnaround. It's really good. You'll hit a bit of floater coming out of it if you're in the back. You're going to hit another 2 speed hills here. These are just straight speed hills. These are nice. They give floater in the back, weak ejector up front. So, yeah, they're definitely good. You're going to hit this nice little floater pop if you're up front going into this next, like, almost 90-degree turn. It's really cool. You definitely get a bunch of laterals here, but it's not in the direction you'd think. You'd think if it's almost 90 degrees going to the left, you'd kind of be folded over to the left, but for some reason I got laterals going to the right. So yeah, I guess I still need to learn a lot about physics, but after that you hit a really small speed hill, which is actually really sharp. So you get great ejector airtime over this no matter where you are. You're going to hit another great ejector pop up front, turn around, get some good ejector in the back, and then you're going to hit this last moment of airtime. This is the strongest moment on the ride if you're in the front, which is where you should be riding. Then you're going to turn to the left into the brakes. So it's a pretty long ride for sure. You definitely get your money's worth with this thing. I will say it's definitely not butter smooth. I know everyone was saying, oh yeah, this thing's butter smooth. It feels like a steel coaster now. No, it definitely does not feel anything like a steel coaster, which is good for me because I like Woodies with a bit of a bite, but yeah, for most people, they'll definitely feel some discomfort if they're sensitive to roughness. but it's definitely not bad. So for Thunderhead's final score, I'm going to give it a 941 out of 1,000. It's actually in my top 20, which is really good. It's definitely not perfect. The ejector that it does have isn't the best ejector in the world, but there's a lot of it, and there's a lot of laterals and stuff mixed in too. And again, that sense of speed is amazing. So let me know what you guys think of this ride down in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.